those of you who are preparing for the Philharmonia level for the Youth Symphony audition. First, I just want to talk a little bit about the excerpt. So this comes from Shostakovich Symphony No. 5, the fourth movement. And this piece was written during the Stalin regime, when Stalin had been ordering many political figures and artists and other public figures to be assassinated, or some of them had just disappeared. So it was a very tense, political time. And Shostakovich had reached a point in his career where he was under a lot of pressure to write something that the state critics would approve of. And he was fearful for his career, if they didn't approve, what this would mean for his career as well as his life. So in response to this climate, he actually wrote this piece, the Fifth Symphony. And what the state was looking for was these themes of grandeur, of heroism, of triumph. And if you listen to the piece, especially the fourth movement, you do hear these kind of qualities. But behind that, you also hear this sense of almost like desperation, or this sense of irony behind this is not a relaxed sense of grandeur. It's more of a, very tense, almost desperate sense of grandeur, and not a relaxed sense of triumph either, almost like a forced sense of triumph. So I just want to go through some of the technical and musical concerns that you will want to focus on in order to bring out this quality in the music. So the first is the tempo. And if you listen to a lot of recordings, some of them go very, very fast. But the tempo marked in this part is just 104 and then later 108. So it can speed up slightly. But there's no pressure to go super fast like the recordings. It just, if you look at the instructions, it just says at marked tempos. So I think you can still have this sense of urgency that you need in the music without feeling the need to play super, super fast. The next thing I would like to talk about is some of the concerns with intonation. So at at rehearsal 99, we have a G flat on the second note. So enharmonically, what we call enharmonic spelling of G flat is F sharp. So if you just think of E flat to F sharp, it's a much easier, I would even play the G flat with the first finger, like you would just a regular F sharp. And then, so that will help on the intonation of the G flat. And then kind of a similar idea at rehearsal 100. This G flat, I would also think of as an F sharp, and the A flat, the last 16th note of that first beat of rehearsal 100, I would think of as a G sharp. So for some reason, especially as string players, our ear is easier to kind of wrap around, or it's easier to hear sharps rather than flats. We're not good at hearing flat keys. So if you imagine, so then we have, so that's leading into measure 100, rehearsal 100, F sharp, and then think F sharp, G sharp, A, instead of the flats. I think it will help your ear. And the last spot I would like to point out for the intonation is 2 bars before 101. It's just very tricky to hear. Just make sure you know exactly where the whole steps and half steps are. So we have whole steps. So the first 3 notes, all whole steps, another whole step, then we have a half step, A flat to G, E flat, whole step. This is where the half steps are. So G to A flat to A natural and B flat. Those are all half steps. So I think that part is really hard to hear. So let me just play one more time from 2 before 101. So I would actually take the time to write out where the half steps are and where the whole steps are, I think it will really help. The other thing that's kind of tricky about this excerpt is the articulation. So I think in general, we want this kind of marcato bow stroke. So with a slight separation between almost everything. Even when we have the second bar of 99, where these are actually marked slurred in the part. But if you listen to a lot of recordings, there's a slight separation. I would almost play it like with a little comma in the slur, you know, but before the 16th note. And the same thing, we have the same articulation, the last two measures of the excerpt. We have, so like a little separation. Just stop the bow slightly between the notes of the slur. Let's see, and then the other concern with the articulation, I would say, are the accents leading up to rehearsal 100. So this is like every single beat. It's almost, I think it actually kind of represents this kind of relentlessness of Stalin's regime. It's almost, you know, like this beating over the head, and it feels that you can really feel this kind of forced sense of triumph, like just unyielding and almost violent quality. So anyways, I hope this video kind of helps in your practice. I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy at home and finding the time and the energy and the strength to continue your practice. I think now more than ever, it's important to keep a schedule. So if you can get a planner, if you have a notebook just lying around, and see if you can actually write in when you're planning to practice each day and every week. And also, you know, keep a little practice journal, what your practice goals are for that week. I would say record yourself often, almost every day, listen back to your recordings, and, you know, see if you can be really critical. Think of yourself as the judge, and see what you would notice and what you would want to fix. Okay, well, happy practicing, and we're looking forward to hearing you. Good luck to everyone. Thank you.